Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's good tonight. I was trying to get over here and read some of your comments and everything. Um, yes, Dina's at her dad's house and next door, and her dad had just got out of the hospital and the other day, and he's been planting gardens and going at it. He's got a lot more energy than I do. Maggie is doing fine. She does have if you haven't heard, we had to, Maggie hurt her foot just the other day out playing ball. And when she landed, Dina says she made a yelping sound and she's been holding her back leg up, walking around holding her back leg up. So I thought she had, her paw had landed down on something and injured her paw. But what had happened, apparently, she tore her ACL on her back leg. Now, we spent $850 today at the vet. That then that's crazy, isn't it? It's just, but it was one of these things we didn't have a chance to make an appointment. We brought them in. They did a X-ray on her. Gracie Gracie still has her heart or her enlarged heart, and it's not getting smaller. And they had to give her medicine or some shots because she has heart failure. Excuse me. I gotta, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. And so Maggie was, as far as getting along, I mean, we're not going to do surgery. They don't even suggest it. What they said was that look here, she's trying to get up. She's trying to jump up beside me and see if I can get her. Come here, baby. Come on. It's okay, Max. Come here, baby. She hurts, still hurts a little bit. No, wait a minute. You can get up in that chair. I got stuff in her chair beside me, but she really likes to sit beside me up here. Come on. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. She likes to sit beside me up here. I apologize. First time all day it's buffed. I don't know what the problem is. Let me turn my TV off. That might make a little difference. Uh, but she has been taking these glucosamine, osteo biflex stuff, and she has been taking that. And she was here beside me before Dina came over and got her, but she just has hurt herself, so she's going to have to learn to adjust a little bit. We've been giving her this some anti-inflammatory stuff and also some painkiller when she gets real bad, and some like ibuprofen and stuff like that. But anyway, uh another note, me and Toni are going to try to do this thing again on tonight at 8:05. And before we get started good, I'm going to get over here and get you the link of where to go on YouTube to our channel. And if somebody can check this out and see, well, shoot, that should be it here, where we'll be at 8:05. And if you go over there right there, you're just going to see a blank screen with a blank screen with maybe a kind of a greenish screen. Uh, yeah, it uh, get a booster or something. And I don't think so. For the Starlink, you can't really get a booster. I think I think where we're at, we don't have a completely clear view of the sky. It does work. That is if you go to that link, that's the link that will be on at me and Tony will be on at 8:05, premiering our. I apologize. I don't know what this is. I may have to try to. The thing is, see, the Starlink has to have complete view of the northern sky, so it is shooting through a few things here lately. I'll run a speed test real quick and find out what my speeds are, and then I may have to put us on a regular internet tonight on one of our phones or whatever. No, we got great speeds. We got 100 and it's down. It's still going 130, 140 down, 150 down. It's still climbing 150 down and 20 something up. So we should have no problem getting a good stream. I don't know what the issue was. It's 12 up. That it's settled on 12, but still I have uploaded videos and all kinds of stuff at that speed. So I don't know what it is. Me and Tony will be on at 8:05 Beach Bum. We're calling it Thomas and Tony Live, and we're gonna start discussing a lot of different things on there. Some stuff that um uh some crazy stuff and also some serious stuff, and we're gonna just we may not be at odds. We may be at odds a lot of times on it because we talked about many of these things before, and we may be in agreement sometimes, but it's just kind of a talk back and forth. We're gonna be on there. He's at his daughter's. Okay, will that work? Have y'all checked that out? Because I sometimes I can't get that other one to work for whatever. um we have also he's at his daughter's soccer game right now. I just called him, and we hope we will. I'll put this other link beside it that I just put up. Somebody confirmed me that it did work. um right here, that one does work apparently. But anyway, I'm gonna go over some things tonight about on that we're gonna talk about on this channel. And let me lay my computer down. Gracie wants up here with me right now, and Dina's not here. Let me lay this down real quick and get Gracie in my lap. That's what she wants. Come here. See a little bit there. Well, Gracie, she, I should do this at a table, but for 2 hours I'd have a problem. So I've got me another little thing there. Come on, Maggie. Come on, baby. Maggie. She just will not get up here. She's scared. I think the last time it hurt just a little bit. And yeah, it's okay, sweetie. I really feel for her. I really do. Um, but we'll go over a few things tonight that I wanted to discuss. And I did, if you saw the show on Tuesday night, it was kind of an update on Tuesday night. I went over a lot of these things, not in detail. It's kind of a way of helping us get some extra people to tune into our channel. By the way, this is basically what the YouTube you might see, but we'll be live, like I said, at um, 8:05. Um, right after this, we got 3 people missing, and the husband and the mother, but the mother had a court order against him. Do not contact. Neighbors saw his truck there at the house pulling a U-Haul, loading stuff in the truck. I don't know if they saw her there or not, but I have a very bad fear for the situation right now for this lady. Um, it says, if I can get this thing to do right, said the parents of Stephen and Monica are both missing, along with their children, Alden, Nicholas. There have been no eyes on them, any contact since they last were seen on February the 10th in Newton, Illinois. Um, that afternoon, a U-Haul was seen at the residence attached to a pickup truck of Stephen Drives. None of the family members or friends were told by any of them that they were leaving, where they were going, or when they would return. The electricity at the residence has been shut off soon after. The father, Stephen Lutz, was required to stay away from his wife during a bond release requirement caused by domestic violence issues within the family in January 2023. During his incident, the children were in the residence. The Newton Police Department failed to contact the Department of Child and Family Services. Stephen had an incident with law enforcement with meth since 2006. As on February the 11th in Indianapolis, Indiana, and again on the 14th in Richmond, Indiana. Both phones had disconnected on the 14th. Um, he's a meth head. He probably panicked, thought he was going to lose his kids, and either did something to his wife or either or possibly did something to the kids too. I hope not. They said, regardless, the press release in Newton PD released in April that there's no official missing person report until Sunday, April the 2nd, as Medina's birthday, over 6 weeks after their disappearance. So they didn't even do a police report. Uh, there have not been any leads database until they didn't put them in the leads database, and I think that's something to do with it. Indianapolis, I'm not familiar with leads, um, with their state up there. They were uh, they were told they were on vacation. Regardless of the federal law, Newton Police Department believed they had their option of filing the report. I apologize again. This thing is in and out tonight. I'm gonna have to probably on nights that we have this make sure ahead of time that, and I don't know how I can do that, that we're not going to be buffing it off. Said on 4/3, the missing persons awareness group went to the site where the family lived in Newton. The windows all were covered with sheets, making it impossible to see inside the residence. The Newton Police Department entered the residence um, in their presence and found that no one was inside. We wanted to clear that the family was not getting into the back of the pickup truck when the pickup truck left. The U-Haul was attached to the back of the pickup truck. As of 4/8, there had been no visual, electronic, or voice contact with the family. So they're not sure really if they were even left all together at the pickup truck. Inside the residence, everything was left behind. Furniture remained at the residence, where the residence has always been cleaned, immaculate, according to the its DCFS and the family. Uh, Said it was now as though a tornado struck through every inch of the house. The kids' clothes were still in the drawers, closets, suitcases open, and parents' beds, as though someone had packed both adults' clothes and left behind a cake and a half eaten in the kitchen. And it seems Seems though nothing else was taken. And now I wonder if the kids were in the mama and everybody were locked in the back of that U-Haul. And I'm sure that they may be thinking of that too. Um, Great Maggie, I wish you'd get up here. I know you want to. She keeps going over and putting her little head down on the cushion here, but she's afraid to jump up. Her back must be hurting her. I may have to give her another pain pill tonight. Um, let's see. Apologize. I'm trying to get these things to do like they're supposed to, and they're not doing it. Um, pull this up here. I just got new glasses, but they're not in yet. Uh, Stephen family and friends contacted and told that the there were mental health issues in the family, like the father, including paranoia. Well, if you smoke a lot of meth, you will be paranoid. I can attest to that because I've seen and dealt with enough people on meth to tell you they are very, very paranoid. That makes them dangerous. One of the children had not been seen by a doctor since 2020, while the others were not have not been seen since early 22. Both children have been seen by complaints of back pain. Well, that's probably either been that could be malnutrition or it could be some type of abuse. Um, Said nobody had ever reported abuse of the children or any physical abuse between Stephen and Monica were halted in the courts by Monica. Um, Signs of abuse of women who stay. It says here, halt by the courts. Monica she had signs of abuse by her abuser, but stayed with the abuser. And a lot of people wonder, you got an abuser. Why do the women stay with the abuser? Well, a lot of times they don't have no place to go. Um, they can't either. Maybe they don't have a job working well enough to get out and get an apartment, and it takes a lot of money, to get a place to stay. And also they're afraid. And I know they listen, we have every city, just about every city has a shelter for women. I personally when I worked police department and patrol before I went to narcotics, we had to take various women up to the shelter. We didn't take them in. We basically that we weren't allowed to tell anybody where that shelter was. It was just a regular house in a neighborhood, but it was a shelter for women. And because if you told somebody or said anything about it, the men would find them and they might hurt them or kill them. And you only certain people, even certain people within the department, guys that had been there a very long time, were allowed to take somebody up there to the shelter. They tried not to even have a police officer take them to the shelter, but if you had an officer who'd been there a while, maybe 10 years or so or something, that they would seem like they'd let the older, more experienced officers take them up there. Um, there is a warrant put out for Stephen because he missed his court date and a violation of his court order to stay away. But we've always said in the past that a restraining order or as a court order is just a piece of paper. A lot of times they'll even give them an ankle monitor, but um, they even cut those off. Said they urge anyone, everybody to get the word out that they can be anywhere in the United States, and possibility they cross the U.S. border. There's no knowledge of that either way. And you think about this, uh, there's not much checking going south from the into Mexico. I've heard about people you know, they ask a couple of questions. Basically, that's it. They'll will there's RVers and everything that have crossed in. They say basically they ask, "What are you doing down here? Are you they say we're coming down on vacation." they may not even check your ID. You have any pets, they have their shots, basically that sort of thing. I know in Canada it's very easy to get across, and they will check at the border for Canada passport or whatever. But I doubt very seriously they're going to run you through. And if they're not even reported missing for a few days, there's possibility that even if they'd been reported, it probably after they had crossed the border. This is a actual missing poster for the Lutz family. That's the husband and the wife and the two kids, and the picture of his truck, which they didn't get a picture of the U-Haul because 9 times out of 10 all the U-Hauls look the same. It says here, father was to have no contact with the wife. Oh, baby, come here, May. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Here, come on. Jump up here. Come here. She's so big, there's no way I can get down and pick her up every time. Basically, they could be anywhere. That's a pretty random truck. I mean, it doesn't look. There's nothing I don't see about it that could be stand out. They will probably get caught by somebody that sees this, or an officer that's paying attention, and he will catch it at a motel or whatever, and happen up on it. Hey, Red Jaguar, how you doing? But it'd just be probably a luck of the draw as far as that goes, on catching these. I hope, I'll try to continue to keep up with this, and try to, hopefully they'll be found. This also is a case brought up to me by one of our listeners. It's a case from 2011. A Caucasian white female, Maggie, Maggie. No, I don't know what she hears. White female, brown hair, blue eyes. She's got Long's maiden name is her. I guess her maiden name is Cooley. Some accounts refer to as Toni Cooley, or Toni Cooley Long. I guess her real name, or her legal name, is Toni Long. She has a tattoo of a flower and a vine, and the initials MKSJ on her left ankle and her foot. And I'll show you another photo there. And these are several photos of her that I got through the Charlie Project. And you can hear Gracie in the background. She's just not getting much better. Her coughing and everything really kind of. All right. See here. Said she was last seen in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May of 2011. Her husband stated and left their residence near 23rd Street and Southwest Boulevard. She was reportedly told others she wanted to leave him. She has never been heard from again, and that I would just really, really be wondering if he didn't do anything to her. She left behind 4 children, and it's uncharacteristic for her to be out of touch with them. And that's the one thing I'll say is a woman usually that has children does not leave her children. She just doesn't. That and I'm sure the police investigated it. There's the pictures again of her, what she looked like, and the tattoo on her leg. And this is a close up of the tattoo. If somebody was to see her out um, at the beach or anything where they could see that, that's pretty pronounced tattoo. Or if God forbid a body is found, then that would be pretty recognizable. And I'm sure that is in police databases as well as NamUs and uh, all of the databases, and as a characteristic. I know that they had actually put this billboards up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So they are taking this disappearance serious. It's just I'm wondering if what type of evidence, if any, that they had on on her being missing, as far as with the police go, the police officers go. Um, this I don't know if now this is actually what Sergeant Melinda was sent me about. I apologize for I don't remember who sent me the other one, but um, y'all remember up in Chicago where the letter carrier was missing? The boyfriend was married or had another girlfriend too, but I'm not judging that. I don't know what all is involved in that, but she apparently had a pretty good relationship with the boyfriend and even her mother. Another video, and let me play you this video talking about it. I was pretty interested in trying to follow up on this case. Uh, I just didn't seem right. They had a video of it out, but it turns out the video they had turned out it wasn't her leaving the house. But see if you can this will play right. I don't know if that video, even if it was released on the day she went missing, would have mattered anything to the public. Um, it does show her alive and well, but it doesn't show anything. And they've questioned this boyfriend, the baby's daddy. I believe is the person of interest they keep talking about. In another video, a much longer video I had watched on YouTube concerning this case. If you remember, and I don't know if you do or not, but they had first put out a video of what they thought was her in a postal uniform walking around her house down, and instead of going to her car, she passed her car. And everybody thought, well, she saw somebody she knew, and that's the person that did this. But the thing is, uh, that after following up on that video, it turns out it was another girl that worked for the postal service that lived in her neighborhood. Now, I know that the coincidences in that are are pretty astronomical, but that is what it is. They verified it, and her mother even said after watching the video, she said, "That's not my daughter. Her gait, her walk, and everything was totally different." So, and they verified it through maybe another camera, ring camera, wherever that down the road that um, they verified it was this other person. So, I don't know. The boyfriend has moved to New Orleans, where I understand it, and with this other girl, and so they may have had some type of fight where she wanted more from him because she was having a baby, and him to step up and do something responsible. But I the what I read and what I understand is that he does not. This guy doesn't have a big criminal record or anything like that. So we don't know what happened in that aspect. I don't know if they ever polygraphed him. I don't know if any of the investigation because we're not privy to it. But um, you know, there it's kind of crazy that you know it's kind of crazy what happened. This is the first place that you is look at. They always start with the family as far as the boyfriend, the husband, that sort of thing. And then they go from out because if you look at statistically speaking, people that harm and kill other people know the person or they're related to the person far more than a random type killing. If I think if Red Jaguar is still here, he would be able to tell you he worked a lot more homicide than I did. But it's you start looking at the initial, like the husband or the boyfriend right away. Um, yeah, he left. He went out of town. He moved with this lady to around New Orleans. So that in itself, I would say, is a clue. But it is what I've experienced in my police career is this: you the way they get caught is they either bring them in and you interview them and they confess because of guilt or feeling bad about it or because you catch them in a lie or something like that. If you get, I've seen, listen, I was not of the I consider myself a pretty good interrogator, but I have seen people. I remember, for instance, a case was that I was assigned to a robbery task force in my early part of my police career. Maybe I'd been in that for probably 4 or 5 years, and I was working with a robbery task force. And I had a guy that I was sure was guilty, but I interviewed him and I could not get him to confess. I just couldn't do it. I don't know if it was a lack of experience, I would say. Well, I went and got one of the homicide guys that he'd worked robbery. He was just a great interviewer, and within 15 minutes, the guy confessed. So uh, it would. I knew that I could. I was lucky. We were lucky to have that type of person in there. Um, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Herbie, that's what I was thinking too. I don't know if they've interviewed her. I'm sure Chicago police is they would, but as well as I do, once they move, sorry, we're buffing. I don't know what the problem is. Uh, but is once you move that far away from where they live, moving Chicago to New Orleans, it's very difficult to get them interviewed, to get them I don't know what happened. My whole thing went down. I couldn't get on. I couldn't get anything. I don't know what in the world happened then. I apologize. Uh, uh I hope, am I back with y'all yet? I don't know what happened here. It crashed all of a sudden. But anyway, it gives this number here too to call if any information, if you know of any information or anybody has information where they are still, and they reference the case number, um, 2 million, in the 2 millions. So you can tell that, I don't know how that is, how they do their case numbers. So I can't tell you if that is 2 million cases or what. Um, I am back. Hopefully, I am back. I'm going to try to solve this problem before me and Toni go live. Hopefully, we can. Um, the problem is, I'm sure, my Starlink, although we've got wind up here too. We're in southern Tennessee right now, and the wind is blowing like crazy up here. It's been a storm front moving through all day. Um, Apart from this that we've been talking about, Aaliyah also, I've got a couple of cases that came out that, and this is Alabama Law Enforcement Agency Community Information Center. And this girl was reported missing in 2022, the April of 22. Well, actually, in January of 20 is when they did, but that says date issued of 22. Said on or around January 15th, 2020, April Lean Johnson was last seen in Choctaw County, Alabama. Her direction of travel and description of clothing is unknown at that time. Have any information regarding the whereabouts of April Johnson, please contact Jackson Police Department. And Jackson is a real small town also, but you see here they do give her a picture of her uh, here that when I saw the picture, I thought I knew her from somewhere, been seen her out or whatever, out around, but she's last location seen is Butler, which is in the east side of Alabama, the way I understand it. But this is going straight off of Leah's website. Let's see, and this is another girl that is missing here, active since 2022, January the 6th, 2022. Susie Bush left the area of Hughes Road in Madison, Alabama, which is about 15 miles from where I'm at right now, Hughes Road, Madison, and has not returned. She's a white female, brown eyes, brown hair, has a tattoo of a butterfly on her right arm. Her direction of travel known. If anybody has any information of whereabouts of Susie Bush, please call Madison Police Department. She's 34 years of age, 5'4", 135 pounds. And those are the three pictures of they posted on Leah. Um, you know, a lot of times, and I really, if you can go down and find out the area in, like out west or whatever, that a subject is missing, like we did, and like AK does out in Colorado, you think um, you might have a chance of even finding evidence, but going down, like I said, I'm 15 miles away from where this girl went missing. It is Madison and Huntsville are two metro type areas. I mean, it's businesses on every corner, and it's not even in a neighborhood much. Um, they do have, like, Huntsville is the fastest growing city in Alabama. Madison used to be Podunk railroad stop. That's it. Well, all of your aerospace engineering, Army contractors live there now, and also businesses. And you can't tell where Huntsville stops and Madison begins. That's the way it is. It's solid, and so it would just be primarily a neighborhood. It wouldn't be anywhere you could actually even go out and ask for somebody. Now, police may have checked door cams, stuff like that, but you know, don't know. Uh, Chybug said money, sex, drugs are your three main motives. Is that for doing something or is that for leaving? Um, Also, I would throw mental illness in there too, um, on both sides of the fence. Hmm. Um, you know, talk about, I think Dina even put that up there. Um, I never understand how come they just don't divorce from leave. The problem with a lot of that time, and I go back to, is one, they don't have any place to go. Two, they're afraid that they've threatened the person, either male or female, could have threatened, I'll take your kids. you know, you'll never get your kids no matter what. Or you leave, they'll kill them. They'll threaten to kill them, and maybe they have either tried to hurt them or either they have hurt them in the past. So um, they they believe them, and some of them don't. Maybe they've been married to them a real long time, and they can't understand how they can make it without them. They don't have a life, or they have uh, confidence in themselves enough to do that. I think confidence in themselves is the biggest thing. I know, working with one in law enforcement, Herbie, I'm sure has done this too. You'll go out to a domestic scene where the girl is beat, and this is back before they had laws that would automatically put people in jail for like spouse abuse. Nowadays, you go out, somebody's injured on either side or both, you may take them both to jail, because um, you don't have to have somebody say, I want to press charges, because in the past, you used to have the wife would have to say, look, he smacked me around, he hit me, um, and we want and I want him arrested. Yes, I'll press charges. And then you could arrest him right then, take him on. And then she would either have to come up later on and sign a statement for a magistrate, or even maybe swear the warrant herself. But I think it was great progress in us in most states, but it's still done in others, where a police officer will come to the scene, and the girl will just be, maybe have a black eye, and he'll say, I'm not, I'm not putting him in jail, because they will just be out tomorrow and she'll take him back and all that. And I would have to come back as a senior officer and say, oh, yes, you are. Either you are or I am. This, you have a duty to. And because if they refuse to put him in jail and the guy kills her, then they would be held, could be held to that standard. But I'm at least now I'm glad that they do have the law where it actually is pretty much, you've got to have that done. You've got to you would be, the state would actually prosecute them. It's like the state uh prosecutes a lot of stuff, like they prosecute murder. They don't have to have somebody, or assault, a bad assault. I make reference, and I've made reference to this before. Um, I had a scene back when I was in my younger days of policing. I'd been there. I think I'd been on the road actually about a year. I had I'd worked 2 years at another police department, but This was when I worked for Huntsville PD, and we went out to a shooting call. We took a guy into custody right away with a gun in his hand in the front yard, and his put him in the back of a car. And then my partner, which was in another police car, we rode one man units at the time. He was doing CPR on the guy on the ground, and I went over, and as he did a chest compression, blood and everything just coming out the guy's mouth. There's no way you could put like your mouth to mouth type on the guy. We took him to the ER. The ambulance took him to the ER, and I thought he was dead. I really did think he was dead, but he didn't die. And I heard later on that the the guy that got shot by his brother, he never pressed charges. His brother was released, no charges filed. Why? Because at that time you had to have a victim press charges. Now, even the state would press charges now. The state would go ahead and arrest him for first degree assault. But when you go to court, it helps if you got a witness that's willing to testify. You'd have to put him on the stand as a hostile witness. He would, even if you say, well, he can make an excuse. No, I didn't really mean to shoot him, and we were playing with the guns. That's up to him if he wants to lie. But at least now the state will come after you, and they will try to do their best to solve the problem. Well, listen, me and Toni are going to come on here in about five, uh, five after, which I'm going to go now because I got to try to figure out this internet and try to figure out if we can do it. It's blowing out there right now. It's blowing, and I need to look at the weather and see if we even have internet that's going to be a problem. Keep Maggie and Gracie in your thoughts. Dina and I both feel like Maggie will eventually get to where she will that will work, or her leg's going to work, but she's getting in and out of this in and out of the RVs, not easy for her. And she is always, usually what she does is she goes in there and gets in bed with us for about I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then she'll get hot and she'll get in the floor. But she can't really jump on the bed like that. It's not easy for her right now. If you can, come over to this other channel and give me about 5 after, and we're going to see if we can make it work tonight. We're going to talk. It won't be a full hour tonight, probably. We're going to talk about things we hope to discuss on this channel, and it's pretty much going to be like we might even discuss current murder cases that are going on. We're going to try to get people like Herbie on some, and in the future, and we're going to try to get a lot of different people on there in the future. I've got somebody in mind for the future. I'm not going to say his name, and if we could get him on, that'd be we're going to talk. I've never seen Bigfoot. I'm sure there's one out there, but I've never seen Bigfoot. But I don't know if Toni's seen Bigfoot or not. I've seen some strange stuff in the forest, but I've never seen Bigfoot. But we'll discuss everything. Maybe we'll get one of the Bigfoot hunters. I know there's a group of Bigfoot hunters up here in around Jackson, Alabama, that claim they have tracked Bigfoot. I don't know shadow people. I never heard of shadow people, but there is a person that I would love to get on that's associated with Skinwalker Ranch if I could get him on, but who knows. But if you could come, hello, Candalee. If you could come over to, yeah, I have too, Herbie. I've seen some very strange stuff. If you could come over to that channel at 5 after, if you let me go here, and I'm going to try to get set up on that other channel, and hopefully it'll work tonight. Hopefully it will, and we can get it done. So anyway, appreciate you being here tonight, and we hope to see you over there on the other channel at 8:05. And we put the link there in the description. it's last time we just had a terrible time at it and getting it in there. But hopefully, and I think if you go over here to this right there, you'll find us at 8:05, and hope to see you there. So God bless y'all and have a great night if I don't see you in a few minutes. Good night.